really like to scream at the end. At the end of that. I can't help it. I don't know if you guys like it or not, but I don't even care right now. Because you know what? It's Tuesday. It's 6 p.m. on the East Coast. I shaved today. Look, you can actually see my lips. You know what? We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm pretty excited about this week. This week has been pretty productive. Jeff has been busting his hump this week, doing some stuffs. And we're going to come right back to that right after this.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charlie from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena. I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Get connected with the ES Advantage today. I like Greg's voice. It's weird. I'm going to throw Jeff a bam. What's up, Jeff?
You know my brain's fried today, man.
Dude, I know. Hey, at least, you did a lot of learning during the time we were supposed to have our meeting that got canceled. But hey, you know what I did while you were doing that, Jeff? I don't know if you know this. I was watching First Amendment audit videos.
What?
You were working. I watched audit videos twice.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, man. Whatever, dude.
Anything really fun?
There was a couple of good ones, man. A couple I hadn't seen. I was like, what the heck? It was funny because the cops were like telling this security guy at this county. It was like the main county offices and the library, and security guys like telling the cop, "You're not doing your job, bro. You're supposed to have my back, and if I say someone needs to leave this property, you need to remove them." They're like, "Bro, this person's not doing anything illegal. They're literally on public. She can't take my video, bro, because I'm in public and I didn't give her permission." I'm like, it was great. And finally at the end, guys like comes off the phone, "Oh, so I just found out that she's not doing anything wrong and I really can't do anything about her." After everybody and their brother's been called out to talk to the security, the auditor themselves, totally laid back and calm, not real well versed on their spiel, you know what I mean?
Right.
But totally laid back, calm. Hey, the security guard literally said, "I'm gonna put hands on this person if they try to go in the building."
Oh,
in front of the cop.
Wise.
And I'm like, that's not cool, but whatever. Anyhow, that's got nothing to do with trucking. It was just something funny. I like watching First Amendment audit videos. I can't help it. I'm one of those guys.
So the good thing that happened to me this week is that my son Mike, his job had him go out to Colorado this week. He's gonna be there for 3 weeks, and he left
his Henry Weinhardt,
a whole 6-pack of Henry Weinhardt's root beer. And I am convinced, people, that if this doesn't get drank in the next 2 days, it's going to go bad.
It will absolutely spoil.
So I mean, I'm not going to let food go to waste. I'm just saying.
It's great.
Hey, when your 27-year-old leaves stuff like that behind, it's fair game.
Dude, I'm saying I told you I included in the price of rent and creating the child. They mess around and leave stuff like that in the house and leave. Fair game, bro. All those years of groceries. No. Bought you socks and panties and drawers and whatever, man. I am stealing your crap.
Yes.
It's a thing. And whatever. There's been all kinds of chat. What's up, everybody? Chris Hamilton was not first today, just so y'all know. It was Craig. He's like, yep, taking it back, whatever. Oh, he even said so. Look, back in my rightful place. I love it. Him and Chris are like battle over that stuff. It's great. Yeah, okay, those guys are funny. I'm just saying, there's a bunch in the chat there.
So I gotta say something about this one. You should also put some wheels on that recliner and ramp so Jeff can roll up into that Western Star. Let me tell you something about the Western Star. Since you brought up the Western Star, I'm going to talk about the Western Star. So I keep banging my knee on it when I get in because I'm so used to the Freightliner body. And this is the old Western Star body style. It's not the new one that just looks like a freaking expensive Cascadia. And the steps are a different. Let me do something. Oh, there we go. Now I can talk. The steps are not the same height as on those Cascadia. So I keep bumping my dang knee on it, getting in the truck, and I'm like, dang it. But I can't hate the truck. It's a nice truck.
Oh, my bad. That was funny. I was playing the violin for you, bro.
Oh, Charlie. So, since I have carpeting in a truck again, which I haven't had in a while.
Right.
I went and got a El Cheapo vacuum cleaner from Walmart, $29. It's like this big. It's an actual legit shop vac, but it's only this big. But when I was shopping for them, we've been talking about the Milwaukee tools over the years.
Right.
Milwaukee makes a battery-operated shop vac that's about the size of a laptop bag.
Really?
But here's the thing. The unit itself is only like $140 at Home Depot. But does it come with a battery? No. Does it take the same batteries I already have for my other Milwaukee tools? No.
Right. Perfect sense. Need a new charger, new batteries. Might as well get two,
Here's the thing. If you buy the battery for this thing, it comes with a charger that will charge both styles of batteries.
Oh, well, hey, there you
go. That's kind of cool, right? But it is the same battery as that air compressor we want to get. So, hey.
Life on 18 Wheels, what's up? Trucker Dan, how you doing? Jump in the hood. I see you talking. There's more people. Cork Soaker. That's an interesting name. Joe Biden. I'm just calling you Joe Biden, bro.
DJ.
DJ, that's right, DJ. Reefer Man. Oh, it's like you're trying to get beat up by women. I'm just saying, man. Hey, look.
Well, Donna is listening. She's over doing some stuff for some people, but I'm pretty sure she's listening. And just for her benefit, Reefer Madness says that I fear females driving anything larger than a smart car.
But wait. He followed up with let's put the whole thing. I cringe every time I enter my wife's car. The steering wheel crushes my nuts and my head hits the ceiling. Who wants to crash with your face right up against the wheel and windshield? Move that stuff back. So, look, with your first comment, I thought, man, Rosie's going to find you and like cut you and slice you and long, deep, and frequent. But then you kind of qualified it with your worry. I get it. You're concerned about their safety because they're so close to the dash.
That's right.
Not that you're afraid of a woman driving a big truck, right? Let's stick with that narrative because there's too many women out here. I'm gonna tell you right now. I can think of 3, right, 4, right, bam, like that I would not say that to because all 4 of them would whoop my tail individually and combined. Just saying. I'm smart,
Well, two would hold you down while the other one
bro.
beat you, and then they'd just switch and take turns.
They'd all get me.
And then they would let you heal up. They'd chain you up in the barn or something, let you heal up and do it again.
Bro, like for real. Keep you alive, heal you up, beat you down again.
BTK type stuff.
Oh my God. Just saying, whatever. But yeah. Who else we got going around here? There's a few people. I'm sorry if I missed you. Welcome everybody. Trucker Talks Live. Trucking Talks Live. Can't talk, whatever. Can't read either. Whatever. It's a thing. I don't know. What do you want from me?
Brought to you by the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs.
Boom, boom, boom. We need a cool like song for that. I don't know what. Hey. You know, I should put Colton's stuff along the bottom. I haven't put Colton's stuff up. I've been slacking. I try to go through my little banners and I forget about it because we start talking about stuff. And then, you know, whatever. So check out Trucker CFO. We like that dude. He's awesome. His company is awesome.
So I spent some time with him this week. And so for those of you that haven't met Colton, I know only a few of you have, but if you ever meet him, he is not a tall man. And he recently got into an accident on I-15. Somebody on the interstate, someone came across lanes and hit him and totaled out his truck that he was so proud of. So he just got a new truck. And he almost comes up to the window on the passenger side or on the driver's side of that truck. And I felt like I had to mention that to him. Yeah, just like that, Charlie. Just about, yeah. And here's the guy. He doesn't even skip a beat. And he goes, you know what's crazy about that is my other truck was 2 inches taller. So
that's Colton looking in his passenger window.
Yep. But still, you can't make fun of Colton too much because the man hunts bear with a bow. So just be aware of that.
Whatever. Wait, it's coming back down. Sorry. Oh man, that was fun. That's gonna be my new Colton thing right there. We got to get him on the show just so I can bust that out and be like, "Who am I? Who am I? I'm you looking in your passenger window." What? He's gonna punch me in the junk. It'll be great. It'll be totally worth it.
Oh man.
What's up, Michael Fowler? Good to see you. Matt Nissen. Oh, you were talking about the recall stuff. The rocker arm recall. You said if you go on the website, it doesn't show if you're on that rocker arm recall. That sucks. That's dumb. They need to fix their crap because I use that website to check for recalls. Yep. I mean, why else would you have the stupid thing? Why wouldn't you list all the recalls by VIN?
Yeah, apparently talking to him earlier today, you got to actually go to a Freightliner and apparently they can look it up.
You know what they're doing?
So then I asked him, what about the Swift shop? He's like, dude, I didn't even try them.
So you know what they're doing, and it just clicked in my head. They don't want to put it on the website because they don't want to do a bunch of these. They figure just the ones that happen to roll into a Freightliner shop and maybe say something, maybe then they'll do something about it. You know what I mean?
Or if their engine sounds like it doesn't have any oil in it.
Right. I'm just saying, man, I think that's shady. It should be part of that thing. I don't even know what's up. Mike Anderson, what's going on, buddy? CW? Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa. Dippity-doo.
Oh, hey, Charlie, I think Michael Fowler was the one that sent me that Darth Vader truck. I stole that, by the way.
That was
I stole that. I made a meme out of it.
I liked it.
When the rule of cool trumps aerodynamics. In that case, absolutely.
Mr. Hunt's watching a dude pulling a homemade trailer rolling down the road, dual axle, only 3 tires. The 4th is just rim, cherry red. Oh, they scare me. James said a bear bow hunt. Count me out. Whatever. I'm going to go after a bear with a toothpick. I ain't scared. No bear. I'll send Rosie out in front of me. She'll whoop it. It'll run from her. Then I'll stab it in the ear hole with a toothpick. Hey, what are you guys doing? Jeff, what are we doing? I don't even understand what's happening right now. We're
Right
so
now,
scattered. It's awesome.
since the hoodie came up, I'm going to show a picture of it here. Give me just a second.
Nice.
I'm so proud of my wife. Sometimes she designed this thing for us.
Mike said he thought you'd get a kick out of that. I did too. He sent it to me too, and I was like, "Yep." But Jeff went and did creative things with it. Whatever. I was just like, "Woo, that's awesome."
Okay, so this is the hoodie that people are talking about,
Oh.
and this will be a prize in the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs community. We'll be doing giveaways of this for people that, I don't know, Charlie, like engage or something.
Yep.
Like actually ask questions and answer other people's questions, things like that. It is a cool hoodie. We cannot sell it, unfortunately. It's some rules with Canva. She did it on Canva, and unless inside baseball again, guys, but when you're creating stuff on some of these platforms, unless every single anything that you didn't create is in that image, you can't sell it. So,
Whatever.
you could give it away. You could use it in promotional material, but you cannot sell it. It's the weirdest thing.
Whatever.
I mean, so Charlie, the weirdest things, like people can see our logo here, that little skull in the middle of the grill.
Right.
She did not actually design that. And so because of that, we cannot sell this image.
Modify the skull.
I told her that. We're working on it. We're going to work on something.
I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be huge modifications. Minor modifications creates a new image. Just saying.
So yeah, well, you know how she is. She's like
I know
100% above board all the time.
We love Donna.
She keeps us from getting sued sometimes.
Right.
Oh, we got any actual questions on here?
I don't know what Craig doesn't want us to get started on. Matt said he stared at a bear. I actually believe that story right there.
I thought you were a bear, Matt.
In the right community. What? What? Stop it.
Hey, we're not. No, that's not what
look. If
Charlie,
you know what I'm
stop.
talking about, then
Just
that's on
stop.
you, bro. You know what? It's not my fault. Whatever. Look, James says that hoodie looks great. See, I can bring it back to what we were talking about. I'm just saying it does, right? Look, I like that thing.
Yeah. So all of our stuff that we Charlie and I have. Do you notice Charlie actually has like a full week's worth of Contractors Corner branded
Dude,
shirts
every
that he
day.
wears. And now that we've rebranded, he's like, crap, now I got to replace all those.
Right? I know. I got long sleeves and short sleeves. Look, wearing one right now. Just saying. Long sleeves, short sleeves, yeah, whatever. Couple different colors. Rosie's even got a pink one. It's bright pink. I'm like, whatever. Now we got to do some different stuff.
So a little bit of business, something came up earlier in the chat that Charlie and I were talking. Charlie was like doing other stuff. So he's like, what is all this about? And I want to say, who was it? Not Reefer Madness, not Cork Soaker, not DJ. Man, it's up there, isn't it? We've had some pretty good comments. I think it was Mike Hunt that was talking about when are we going to see these big insurance increases?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, in our little group at Swift that we built, for those guys, they didn't see an increase. And, Seabright, they're a broker. They're not an actual insurance company, right? They're a broker. And so within the Swift group, and we built other groups for people outside of Swift now. So you might want to check that out, see if maybe we could do better for you there. Believe it or not, our group of Swift guys, and those of you that aren't at Swift are like, oh, Swift always getting into wrecks. No, they eat their bunny.
Right.
We had such a good loss rate. In other words, there weren't that many claims that we did not see an increase at all this year.
We were actually supposed to see a 19% decrease in our rate, and we had one really bad accident on our loss run that was like $2 million worth of craziness.
And it
that
hit
one,
like 2 days before we re-upped.
Yeah, and so instead of us having a 19% drop, we ended up with staying flat. So whatever, man.
So yeah, I was just gonna say though, Charlie, whether you go with Seabright or not, of course we would like you to because we're partnered with them. But at least, stop going to these big guys. Go find yourself an insurance broker. I learned a long time ago when I was in my 20s. I messed up.
Yeah.
I had to do the dreaded SR22 form because I got caught without insurance one time. Right. And if any of you have been through that nonsense, it jacks your rates like 300% for a couple of years. So what I did was I went and found an insurance broker. And you know what a broker can do for you that say a Progressive doesn't do for you? They literally shop the market for me every 6 months and find me the best rate they can find.
Right.
And so I could have a different insurance company twice a year. And I pay the broker, so I don't even really know about it.
I've had the same
know.
car insurance for almost 30 years now. I'm not going to lie. Not the
Yeah,
best
but-
price.
Yeah, but you're one of those good drivers.
Yeah, but and it's still, I could probably get cheaper, honestly. But I got to tell you, I've been really happy with this carrier ever since I picked him up. I think it's Progressive, and I mean, look, we had a really bad wreck with my daughter. She was not at fault, and I mean, she like wrecked, got totaled out, T-boned by a F-250 in our Kia Soul, and it was not that old. And totaled the Soul, and that was like on a Monday, and by Friday we were literally in a brand new Kia Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And my insurance agent, that dude, or my car dealer rather, that dude, this guy, the guy that I used to buy Kias from all the time, this dude like rolled out there because my daughter's like, I'm not sure what to do, and called that dude because he became like a family friend. Showed up at the wreck site, arranged for the wrecker. I mean, took her home the whole night. It was awesome. Whatever. See, service like that, that's what I look for. I truly look for service like that when I'm dealing with companies. That's what we got with Seabright. That's what I got with Progressive. That's what we got with CFO. That's what we got with the ES guys. That's what I'm after all the time. It's the service. Sometimes those services, you pay slightly more, but what is the level of service you get? We got guys out there, whatever, bash on me, hate on me all you want. OIDA truck insurance. If you are financing or leasing a truck, there's no gap coverage. They're only going to pay you fair market value, not what you owe on that truck. Period. So yeah, you know what? Their insurance is cheaper. Lord help you if you wreck it and you still owe an extra 30, 40, 50 grand on that.
Charlie, what's the odds of that actually happening, Charlie?
Stop. Just stop, man. Don't.
Well,
Don't
we
take
had
me
people
down that road.
We had people tell us that, and at
Right.
least one of them totaled their truck out like 3 weeks later, and was
Just
left holding the
saying.
bag. So it's something to consider when you're shopping this stuff. But I recommend officially at this point, given our experience over the last couple of years, especially Charlie, Seabright's great. We would love to see you go there. But if you're not going to do that, please shop around. Try and find a broker. Seabright's not the only broker out there. They're just who we think is the best. That's why we do business with them. Maybe they can save you some money. Maybe they don't actually save you money. But like Charlie's saying, look at the service that they offer.
Right.
And the coverages that they have that nobody else even offers.
Right. Business operating expenses, accident stuff. I mean, come on, man. I don't even know look, stop. Just
I broke Charlie.
I got to take a breath, man. I run into so many people that, have camera requirements, like at Swift. If you're on their insurance, you have to have a camera. Whatever. Got people losing contracts over stuff from that camera that they didn't even know about until it was too late. So whatever. Just saying. Look, Craig likes it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people like Seabright.
Did you highlight DJ's comment too? Well, he's crazy car price.
Oh, that was an accident. That one.
Selling all your vehicles.
He said, just imagine the insurance costs on a $90,000 pickup truck. Good God.
I could ask someone.
Right? Sean.
Man, has there been a week at all where we didn't have an opportunity to give Sean a little bit of a ribbon?
I think even when we don't have the opportunity, we make it just because it's got to be done. You know, I it's just fun, man. Sorry, I'm reading chat. So I'm in a weird orientation. I moved desks. Look, you can't really tell from what you see in the background, but I swapped desks, changed my position in the room. I'm making more room in our little studio. Um, and so my orientation is weird on everything from where I normally look. Normally, I put my third monitor back up over here. It's over on this side anyhow. And normally this screen would be over here. So I would normally be looking like this, right? And the orientation is very odd. So I apologize. If it looks like I'm looking away, it's because it's just completely weird. Not that any of you really care, I'm sure. Whatever. What's up, Nick? Good to see you. Yeah, we're painting. I did a slightly bad job today on that wall, Jeff, after it all was said and done.
Yeah, you're saying that.
It's not pleasant, but whatever. It's gonna be a bunch of art on it too.
Put
So
more on it. Just put more paint on it. It'll be all right.
yeah, I just got to go buy more or whatever. It's gold. It's definitely goldish. But yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of art on it. She's like ordered a bunch of stuff that she wants to put on her wall. We're actually setting Rosie's space up over in the side over here. And she's got a bunch of stuff that she's gonna start working on hopefully here pretty soon. And yeah, it's kind of neat. I'm pretty excited about it all. It's been fun. Bought me a new desk. I got a desk that will help me do better work because I can stand up at it finally. It's pretty awesome. One of my big problems when we're doing this, and because like Tuesdays, particularly Tuesdays, I spend just about all day in this chair. I get up and walk away for a couple minutes here and there just because I need to go stretch and stuff. Now I don't even have to walk away. The desk raises, I can stand and work, and it's awesome, and I like it, and it will look really weird, though, on camera. In fact, so, okay, I'm going to give up some stuff. If I put my desk in a standing position, you'll see that the only artwork on my wall is in camera view. Watch this, watch. I literally built my backdrop with my pictures, so it would sit in camera, position. Right? So now I need to add some more up here. So I got to get some more stuff. I have some more that I want to do. That
hey, I got a buddy in the Space Force that can get you some.
Nah, bro, I'm good. Why? You know what? I didn't know what just happened, but Jeff just got. I don't know what happened. He just left. He mentioned some place and whatever. Space Force. Look, power to those guys. Someday I hope that they have really cool stuff, right? Because
let's be real with the advancements in tech and this and that and the other thing. It was kind of a natural progression,
right?
I'm just really surprised that they didn't do like what the Marine Corps and the Navy were for centuries. They were part. Why aren't they just part of the Air Force? That's kind of weird to me, but.
James said you can't access Smart Drive from the driver portal. It's going to take a month for the fix.
Okay, well, if you don't have a camera, who cares?
Well, he does still.
I thought he got rid of it.
No, he was waiting for points to drop off.
Oh, shoot. Right.
Yeah. And then he didn't drive last week, so he didn't get a full 30 days in it of drive time. So he still got 22 points. He needs to be 20 below. So, yep, he's hosed until it drops off, whatever. Good luck. Should have got rid of that a long time ago.
DJ brings up a good point that we can discuss.
Go for it. Throw it
up. He says weekly payments means you never go home. That's part one. And monthly payments are where it's at. And I think he followed up. So he says he parked last night was zero. Oh, that's something different. Never mind. Anyway, so let's discuss that a little bit. I think that you manage your finances the way you want to, but I'm going to say that going home when you have weekly payments does not have to mean a negative paycheck. I mean, are you saving money? I know at Swift, I'm not there anymore, but at Swift, what I would do is I have my maintenance fund, right? And if I went home for a full week solid, which you know me, Charlie, it's usually closer to 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
How do I make my lease payments? I had a butt ton of money in the maintenance account.
Right.
Or if I didn't and I had the money in my savings account, I could make a phone call and say, hey, here's my debit card number. Let's make that lease payment this month.
Right.
You know, if you're managing your cash flow properly, it doesn't matter if you're on weekly or monthly payments. What matters is that you have the money to make those payments.
Exactly.
A little warning to my friends that are still at Swift, be aware that the whole Papa Swift thing that we've been enjoying for the last 20 years, boy, they're really tightening up on that from what we're seeing.
So here's something that I would like to address on that payment thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take my truck as an example, $670 a week for the truck payment. Just the truck payment, right? 52 weeks divided by 12 is $29.03.33 a month. What's the difference between that and what I'm paying weekly? Still comes out the same amount of money every month, right? Why can't I plan for that? Go ahead, Jeff.
But
go for it.
From what I've seen, okay, and this isn't going to be something that all of you guys can do. Just know that, because you need to have some things in order to do this.
Right.
If you finance a truck through a bank, your payments aren't going to be that $2,900 a month.
Well, depending.
It'd be closer to about 18. You know, the people that have the credit score to do that, the down payment. And that's another thing. And, an upcoming podcast of ours, probably in 2-3 weeks, Charlie.
Yep.
We had Colton talk about business credit, how to get business credit and how to manage business credit, so that you can, over time, be able to do things like go to a dealership and get a truck. The other thing too, though, you have to really know what truck prices are. I haven't checked recently, Charlie, but last year, I know because we had one of our community members do this. He went to Kenworth looking to buy a brand new truck.
Right.
And went with his equipment lease and the payments to that dealership. And the dealership told him, dude, we can't beat that.
And he couldn't beat the monthly payments either.
Right.
Or the total cost of the truck.
Right. So, buyer beware, do your due diligence. Things flip-flop all the time. So I can't tell you which one is better today.
Now, right now is probably a good time for it. Prices are much lower right now. Let's just be real. Yeah, get them. Burp. Anyhow, prices are dropping. They're on the decline. I'm not sure what the new truck market is doing right now. I know the used truck market is kind of at a pretty steep decline right now. And it's only because I've been keeping track because of the argument that I have all the time. The argument I have when you do that, it goes wee.
Oh.
Anyhow, the argument I have all the time is about insurance, right? And the gap coverage in that. So I'm constantly looking at the value of my truck on the market, which would now be a used truck, right? And comparing that to what I owe on my note. And it's, it bounces between about $30,000 and $40,000 on any given month, based on what the market is doing. So the used truck market is really starting to drop quite a bit. Whereas I'm not sure what the new truck market is doing, because they're still so backlogged, and there's so many people that were trying to get trucks. I mean, the bigger you are, the better the chance of you getting trucks. Mm-hmm. Because of the allocation that they set out for those big companies, things like that. So I'm not even sure how a average dude goes out and buys a brand new truck at one truck. You know what I mean? So right. I'm not sure what that price is even going to be.
Even if going to be markup. Even if it had been a good deal, this person that we're talking about, he was looking at a year to get a truck.
Right. Minimum.
Because the Swifts, the JB Hunts, even the Expeditors, the ES guys, they buy trucks. They get precedent because they have relationships with these dealerships. They have bought trucks from them for years. They get them for less than what you and I could buy them.
Yep. They have a set allocation and they negotiate every year.
Right, and they get a certain allocation. So, and we got to see some of that I'm not going to divulge the whole story on this one, but we did get to see some of that in a company that we know that they wanted more trucks than their allocation was. And
Right.
boy, they went to those dealerships that they knew and really negotiated hard to get an extra, I think it was like 50 trucks this year or something like that.
Right.
But it was like it was based solely on their long-standing relationship with those dealerships. They actually put like some bigger companies aside because of the relationship.
Right.
Relationships.
So here's an interesting comment, and I'd like to comment on that because we actually kind of touched on some of this with Colton. So you've got your credit score up to 800, but you got zero cash in the bank as backup. So with that being said, going to try to get business credit, right? You're actually hosed from what we learned recently. And again, that's coming up on an upcoming podcast because of the zero cash part. Right. I mean, yes, your credit score is a major portion of it. That cash flow and your history in trucking, running a business is actually more powerful than that personal credit rating, which I did not know until we had that conversation. I truly didn't understand that, and I bought a truck, years ago when I bought Chewy from out in the finance world, right? I didn't even understand then. After the conversation with Colton, I realized then what had happened back when I bought this truck. They wanted to see my financials and the history of my trucking business. They like literally told me, we're not really worried about your credit score that much. I mean, if it's over like 550, we're good, right? And I knew at the time I was better than that, but whatever. They're like, as long as it's over like 550, we're good. What we want to see is that you got some cash in the bank and your financials. But I didn't understand why. I'm just like, yeah, look, bro, I've got, like 15 grand in the bank. I've got, this history of running my operation. It was at the time, it was only about 13 months of operation, and they were good with that because I had leased my very first truck was 13 months before I bought my truck on the outside, that Freightliner. I had leased a International the first year we put out the you know what? I didn't mind that first one. Because of the cabinet space and it was okay, right? But the cabinet space was amazing in that truck. I mean, that thing had cabinets everywhere, which was great, but I wasn't the most economical truck. It was pretty aerodynamic, but it did end up having some problems, and I only had it a year, so.
I don't know. I have hotel cabinetry in my Western Star.
Whatever, man. You and your dang Western Star.
Yeah, so our conversation with Colton inspired me, actually, Charlie. I don't think I talked to you about this. Because of my goals for the next 8 or 9 years, I have recommitted to my savings plan to get cash in my business.
Right.
I was telling them that because of life and things and freight volumes and all that stuff, that my credit score has gone a little bit awry since I bought this house in Utah. Obviously it was okay. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to buy a house, but it's gone down a bit. He's like, well, do you have any cash? I'm like, no. He's like, you need to fix that.
For real.
Cash and you'll be all right. So that's what we're working on now, is increasing that amount of free cash in the business.
And that's a thing.
Right. Because, obviously you're making a profit, right? Otherwise you would be homeless. The bank's looking at it is, are you making enough profit to put stuff away? Do you have a nest egg of cash in the business, not in investments?
Right. Will you be able to pay off this loan?
Right.
What is your ability? How much can you put down?
Jump in the hood. I don't trust bankers. They've never done me right. Never. I don't necessarily trust bankers anyway, but we live in a place where bankers are necessary. I mean,
say I've had
unless, and if you could do this, I have met people that do this. Sylvia did this. Stroking checks for brand new trucks, just paying cash. If you could do that, absolutely, I would do that. And that's part of the conversation in that podcast too, is when do you use credit and when do you just use cash?
Right.
The thing is, anytime you have credit, and I will never say anything different. If you want to use credit to grow your business, make sure you do it the right way. Don't get yourself in trouble. But cash is king.
Right.
If you could do it with cash, you eliminate a lot of risk.
Indeed.
That's an interesting one for Mike too. Go to that one next. But
So here's a funny thing. Jumping the hood. My mom, when she retired with just short of $1 million in her 401k. It was in the Vanguard Total Market Fund, right, which she had paid into for 30 some odd years. It had transferred different funds at different times, but she ended up in the Vanguard Fund. Here's where it went horrible for her, and this goes with what you're saying. She literally had a little over 750, 800 in the bank available to her that she could absolutely withdraw that day from that retirement fund at that point, because she was completely vested and squared away, right? The 2008 market crash happened. She panicked.
Oh, did she take it out?
She pulled at 300 as it was dropping.
She would have had like 3 million by now.
That and it was less than 6 months with the rebound. Her 758 in that same fund, had she not done anything and just left it alone, would have been $1.3 million available.
And we
That
aren't
was brutal.
financial
That crushed
advisors
her.
or CPAs or anything, so we have to be kind of careful. But I can tell you, like my parents, I have no idea how much money they got. They're baby boomers, so that's none of my business. Right. That was part of the culture back then.
Yeah.
Here's what I do know, though. They are retired. They have been for several years. And they just bought a house. I know that the way they have their finances set up is to take out annuities every year out of their investment funds, and they keep it in the markets and basically live off the interest.
Right. There's some smart people that I've read, you will listen to, because you guys know I don't read. I listen to their books on financial stuff and retirement planning, things like that. I can tell you right now, me personally, no retirement planning whatsoever at this point in my life. I've got to do something remarkable, and I'm going to work forever. Let's just be real.
Oh, we're doing things remarkable every day, you and I, Charlie.
Yes, sir. But I do have, to be fair, I do have my retirement from the Army.
Right.
It's not great, but it's not nothing. I lived on a lot less than what my retirement money is now. Even with inflation, I could live on it. I don't want to. It wasn't fun. We didn't have a lot of free revenue, that's for sure.
Right.
But I could do it if we had to, right? I wouldn't be supporting as many people, that's for sure. I'd be like, look, all y'all get out.
Well, and you see, that's the thing. My parents, they have my sister living with them, which has been good for everybody because they're getting up in the age in the years.
Yeah.
And I don't think my sister minds me talking about this, but she's a recovering addict. She's been clean for a long time, and mom and dad help her stay clean, and she helps them with what they need help with. It's a really good situation for everybody involved. They couldn't do that though if mom. Let's be real. It wasn't my dad. Okay.
Right.
My mom made sure that they saved money for the last 60 years.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Rosie and I are both spend it now because we're here. That's been our problem our entire adult lives. And Rosie and I have been together since we were 15. We did not help each other here.
Donna yelled at me the other day for buying a bottle of Coke Zero.
I got no words right now. You know what I've been doing the last 3 days. So just saying. Yeah. Jumping a hood. It looks great on paper, but I know nobody who actually has that in cash. So
I do.
My mom
It's
did,
not
like I
me,
said.
but I do know people.
Right. And my mom did. She just made a poor decision. It was really bad. She panicked like so many people do. And you know what? There's a awful lot of people of her generation that panicked at the same time. And there was a ton of wealth lost in that slump. All they had to do was just don't touch it. Just let it ride.
Well, a friend of mine's mom did that too. And she ended up, she's the same age as my parents. So she's in her 70s now. And she pretty much lost everything in that Vanguard because she panicked.
Right.
And she ended up going back to work because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the good thing about her is she's a very talented graphic artist. As a matter of fact, some of the Campbell Soup posters, you remember from back in the day, she actually designed those.
Right.
So very, very successful in that. So she just started her own little graphic arts firm and does it from home, but still she had to go back to work.
Yeah, that sucks.
And all, I know enough about the markets that you don't take money out when it's going down.
Right. Every major market crash in history has had a rebound that outdid the crash. Every single time in history to date. That's not to say the next one will, but if we're learning from history,
it's like we talk to people all the time. Now's not a good time to become an owner operator.
Right.
Well, when is a good time?
Right.
Does there need to be a certain president in office? Does a certain party need to be in control of Washington? Does your next door neighbor have to buy a white hat? I mean, what is it? What will make it the right time to be in business? If you want to be in business, the right time is when you're ready. That's the thing.
I agree. Josh McLean said credit is all risk. I think you'll enjoy that podcast that's coming up. It's very soon. I think there's 1 or 2 coming. Can't remember if it was number 9 or 10 and which number we're on right now. Honest to God, I apologize.
We've lost track. We've
yeah,
been working so much on the mastermind stuff right now.
We actually need to record another podcast soon.
Oh, yeah.
Just so we have one in the bag. Just saying. Yeah, but I think you'll enjoy that podcast. I if you haven't checked them out, I think we're putting out some good content in the podcast, which is purely audio. You can find it. Look up Road Warrior Entrepreneurs, or you can go to podwheels.com and you'll be able to find us there. I can even throw it on the bottom of the screen somewhere. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Oh, look right there. You can go to that address right there, podwheels.com, category RWE, or just go to podwheels.com and click on their podcast and you'll find us, Road Warrior Entrepreneurs. We're in the list. Right. We've got like 8 or 9 up there right now. We've got 9 or 10 coming out soon, whatever. Check it out. Leave comments.
And, if you guys are enjoying this conversation, boy, check out our private community.
Yeah, we did a thing.
We're in the pre-launch sequence for that right now. Up until when is it, Charlie? Labor Day.
Labor Day
is when the launch sale ends. So for right now, you can lock in $37 a month for life, as long as you don't leave the network. But yeah, this sort of stuff that we talk about on the show, in the community, we're going to be actually having like classes and stuff on how to plan this stuff out. So if you want to get to the next level, you want to be in contact with other people that are trying to do better in a real positive setting instead of just the Facebooks where everybody's an idiot except you type of setting. That's what we've set up there. And yeah,
I'm gonna pull the graphic, and I thought I saved it.
Did you lose the graphic?
I thought it was
in the thing.
I thought I had it on my desktop, but I don't. Let me try and slide some stuff real quick while I look for that.
Okay. You want me to hit these 2 starred comments? This is Swift stuff, but yeah. So Chris Hamilton, one of our Swift guys. So I'm going to preface this with the equipment lease that Swift guys have. There's an actual table in there of what the maintenance intervals have to be for the truck to maintain your lease. It has to be done. So he's heading into his 100,000 mile service, takes his truck into the shop. The guy looks at him like he's got 3 heads. And it ends up being, we'll just talk to the manager tomorrow. And what's going on here is that Charlie, I think, was one of the first guys to actually go in with his contract and say, you need to do these things. And, they're just not doing all of the things in that table. And when you confront them on it, they don't even know what you're talking about. Right. So if you're leasing a truck through International Equipment Leasing, you have that equipment lease through them, which is a subsidiary of Swift, and it's all convoluted. But anyway, if you're a Swift guy and you're leasing your truck through Swift, make sure that you're doing those services the way your contract says. If you're using a Swift shop, make sure that they're doing everything on that list for every single service. There's a couple reasons why. Because it could affect the warranty of the truck if you don't do them all. And let's say that your plan is a bit longer than we like to see, but let's say you're going to do that 4-year new truck lease, and then you're going to roll it over into what they call an MRP lease, which is kind of a second lease that costs a little bit less for another 3 years. And at that point, you'll be able to stroke a check and buy the truck.
Right.
They won't let you do that unless you do all those services. And apparently the Swift shops, they have no idea what we're talking about when we bring them that list.
It's hilarious and sad at the same time. And it,
I mean, you would think that that's how they
Catch
would be
me.
doing their company trucks, right? I don't know. It seems legit to me. Did you find it?
I did
All right.
right there. Just saying, check it out. You can go to rwedrive.com, www.rwedrive.com, and you can sign up. And you know what? There's people that are going to talk trash, and that's fine. We don't mind it. Talk your trash. We're not for you, bro, and that's fine. The people that are wanting to kind of not just do okay, or people that are coming out here and trying to start out fresh, we've seen the data that shows that the people that are working with us in our kind of sideline coaching and things like that, which we are now formalizing, have done better. They have done better than the average person out there just starting out without any sort of guidance. Jeff and I have built something that we wish we had when we started. Jeff and I have built something, and along with our community, it's not just Jeff and I should say our community as a whole are in the process of building something that all of us wish we had for our entire journey in this contracting thing. I'm just saying, this brings together all the things that so many of us have wished we had access to. And yes, there's a price. It costs money to put all this stuff together. It costs money to do all the back end of this stuff. And so, hey, if it's not for you, that's fine. There are people signing up, and we're glad that those people are there. And if you're mad because we're charging for something that we've done for free for so long, we didn't do it for free. We've done it at a huge cost to ourselves. So if you can understand and relate to that, cool. If not, that's cool too, bro. Just saying. But look, we look forward to the people that are joining. We are running a pre-launch deal right now. It's $37 a month. You'll be locked into that price forever, as long as you keep your account active. We're doing some special training in that Facebook group because we're doing our pre-launch in a Facebook group before we launch the full-blown community out there. We got some final touches. We're struggling with learning that handle some of the mail stuff in the background. It's kind of a weird thing. Like we might as well be learning Russian right now, but we're learning it. Yet.
Hey, yeah. So and we'll be having some bonus trainings. One of which is going to be from our mastermind coach, Josh Hull, who is married at the hip with the mastermind.com people, which is a platform that was put together by Dean Graziosi and none other than Tony Robbins. So he's going to be doing a training for us. So the only way you can get that specific training, that bonus training that he's going to do, and some of the bonus trainings that we're going to do on mindset and kind of to springboard your experience to get you ahead of the game for when the thing actually launches. That's only going to be available during the pre-launch in that Facebook group. And then we're going to move it into the network in an area that only the people that invested in themselves early will have access to for life. So if you sign up and you miss a training or whatever, don't worry about that. We know that we're all truckers. One of the things we tried before was that irregular training, and I think that went okay. It could have got better, but we got some things out there, right? So what we've arranged to do is anything that's video or PDFs or texts, all the stuff that's in that Facebook group for you guys that invest early, you're going to maintain access to that for life, whether you stay with us or not. And that's signing up for the $37 special up until Labor Day. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, here's the funny thing. So Chris Hamilton was the first one that signed up, and that's what Craig and I and Chris have been jiving about back and forth in the chat earlier today. Because it was funny because I put up a huge trophy in the private group for Chris Hamilton's. He said, "Good job," and Craig's like, "But I was the first one," because Craig was the first one of our founding members that we had a large group of people that paid before and are now locked in on a really special deal for life. And we call them our founding members because we did a lot of testing with them, and we learned a lot at their expense, right? And they really helped us out. So they got a really special deal that they're locked in for life. So he was the first one that transferred over into the new private group. And so he was first in the new private group, and I gave him this tiny little trophy today. It was like this big. It was literally someone holding a trophy, and it was like this big. So they've been jabbing back and forth. It's been fun.
Yeah, I think your grandson's participation trophy for soccer was probably bigger.
Absolutely way bigger. Yeah, it is no joke. It was funny. But yeah, it was fun. And we've got people signing up. And those of you who are signing up, thank you. We do appreciate it. And we're going to do everything we can to make this thing awesome. And we're going to help people do a lot of cool stuff. You can go to that website right there. It's in the chat. It's in the chat and it's on the screen, www.rwedrive.com. And you're going to get to learn some stuff from Jeff and myself and our buddy Josh Hull, who, by the way, is our coach. We actually pay Josh to coach us in business and what it is that we're doing. So don't think that, we're just trying to charge you guys for coaching. We pay our own coach.
And if you guys want to, if you guys just want to know what the dollar amounts are, I'm not going to tell you what we pay this guy, but I can tell you that if you went to his organization, which is the purposedrivenco.com, and you sign up for one of his classes, he charges like $1,000 per session for classes. And that's just to take one course from him. And he's going to be presenting for you guys because I guess he likes us. I don't know. I mean, we are paying him. I guess he's a paid friend.
Right.
But he
What's
also
his website, Jeff?
The purposedrivenco.com.
Got you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let me make sure. I can make sure real quick.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff we've learned over the past, I would say probably 30 days, especially Charlie, because we've been involved in this Dean Graziosi group. And time again, man, and this is what we're trying to do for you guys is get you past some things. They call them limiting beliefs, quote unquote. But a lot of people, they paid a lot of money to be part of this group we're part of. And boy, they get stuck. Right, Charlie?
Right.
Asking the same questions over and over again, never taking action. And that's the number one thing. If you guys are going to come into this group and you're going to spend the money, then spend the time. We don't want you coming in and just paying the $37 a month and then not do anything with it. This is designed to get you to the next level. We're going to take you from wherever you are today, and we're going to find out, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in 10 years? And we're going to help you step by step get there. That's the whole goal. So, oh, Cork Soaker. I don't even know if I want to put that one up. That guy. You're going to get us on a track, man, and we're trying to be positive here, man. We're trying to be positive.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, I mean, I know
I'll put it up
a little bit.
I can't help myself. Oh, that ain't happening, bro. No offense. I ain't trying to talk bad about anybody, but
we have some history there, and we need to not go that way.
Right. Just saying. So what we do offer is real coaching, real business advice, and
from real truckers.
Right. We're out here hauling freight like those of you who are trying to do this thing. Right. And we're not saying we know everything, but I bet between ourselves and our community and our contacts and our team, we've got an answer for damn near any trucking problem that's out there.
Yeah, and that's the point of putting a mastermind together. right? The whole concept of a mastermind. Which, Charlie, remember when you actually learned that term a few weeks ago,
Right?
and you were like, dude, but
Exactly.
it's bringing so many people together to where you kind of get this, between Charlie and I, we've got about 40 years experience. You put everybody else from the group in there, and by the time we have, say, 100 or 500, however many people sign up, how many hundreds of years of experience are we talking about at that point?
Right.
And we will have access to that. You can ask a question. Hey, I've always wanted to get into this thing. And somebody says, oh, yeah, I did that for like 10 years. Let me tell you about it. Here's how you get in. Here's the pitfalls you want to look out for, all that stuff. So it's really, gosh, I wish I had built some of those graphics, Charlie, because they're
Right.
stupid, but I like them.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you think about it this way. Charlie and I have fallen in pits,
Serious pits.
serious pits that cost us serious money and serious time. We could save you that time of money because we've been there. We could build a bridge over that pit or pothole so you don't fall into it. And our coach Josh Hull, he's done what we're trying to do, and so he's fallen into pits, and he tells us about them. Yeah, don't do that, man. That didn't work out good for me.
Right.
Do this instead because that works. He saves us time and money, and that's what we're paying him for. And we'd love to have you join us, and we could do that for you in the trucking industry. That's the whole point.
Exactly. And love this dude. Just gonna throw this up here because let me get rid of that. Close this out real quick.
Did you verify the website real quick?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Got to share this one. Present, share screen. There we go.
Technology.
Like, have seriously grown to love this dude because of it. So, very all about succeeding. His focus is succeeding while you're at home and things like that. For what he does for us, he comes from the trucking industry. His background is as a broker agent, and he digs what it is we're trying to do. And that's how we got a good price out of him. Let's just be real. He liked what we were trying to produce. And Jeff and I step into this quite frequently. They're like, bro, we really like what you guys are doing. Let's work together. And then we're like, yeah, we got no money, bro. And they're like, oh, okay, check it out. Let's work this deal out. And so we work deals with these guys.
That's how we got the podcast going.
Right. I'm just saying, we won't even talk deep about that side of things, but we got hooked up. And I mean, we've got a production staff on the podcast. It's crazy. This dude right here. So the website address, let me pull this up because I want to make sure I post the right thing in the chat. Dig this guy. I want to make sure we give him a proper shout out. And so that's his website right there. The purposedrivenco.com.
Yeah, apparently he ran into the same problem we did with his website name.
Right. Yeah. Right. I
know that some of you have built your own websites before, and so our pain trying to find a website that people can remember all of.
Right.
And conveys the message you want to convey is interesting sometimes.
I like it. I like his thing though. Succeed in business while winning at home. He works with a lot of home-based business people and really finds and teaches these folks ways to succeed on both.
Yep.
To take the success in business and be able to transform that into winning at home, like he says, where you actually have time to spend time with your family and things like that, and it's important. It's a little tougher in the trucking industry. Let's be real. We did a podcast about that work-life balance.
But there is a path that I'm learning more and more about every day with the people I'm working with over at Panther.
Right.
And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in our community is how do you go from a single truck Swift guy to owning a small fleet somewhere, and then you could just manage that fleet from home.
Right.
How great would that be?
It would
be truly, that's not just next level. That's like, up here.
Yeah. But how did the what is his name? Jerry Moyes.
Oh, Jerry Moyes started with 2 trucks.
I mean, look at that. Mr. Werner started with a
Mhm.
single truck. The people at Prime, sure, they started with, just a couple. Schneider, there's another family that started one. How did
Yep.
they get there? They started somewhere. Yeah, they started a long time ago, but they had a whole lot of crappy regulation back then that they had to deal with too.
So,
It's a whole
Cheese, do
nother
you
thing.
mind if I say something really snide and a little bit mean at your expense?
Yeah.
Can I say it, Charlie?
Go ahead, man.
People can make more money with a good YouTube channel than actually trucking. I could tell you that's absolutely not our experience.
Yeah. Clearly, we don't have a good YouTube channel, Jeff. I'm just saying.
Well, even like someone brought up Coach, and even Trucker Todd, and we got to know them well enough. They did okay. They had a lot more followers than we've got so far, but it definitely did not replace their trucking income. They still
Right.
truck. And that one thing too, Charlie, about us that I think is worth just saying over and over again. We will never get completely out of the truck.
No, I love to drive.
I mean, Charlie and I were talking about an opportunity that may be coming my way soon, and it would require me to not be in the truck very often,
Boo.
but I've got to get out there.
Right.
I've got to go out and work the business. I can't see myself not, we've talked about it, Charlie, even if it's just, okay, I'm going to go out and drive for a month. Let's see what the market's doing. Let's see how well I do this month. And then we spend a couple weeks at home doing this stuff, or vice versa, whatever. But to completely get out of the truck, that's just
Right.
that's not in our DNA, Charlie.
I don't want to. Wait, Jeff and I have talked about it. I mean, like, he said, we've talked about it, Let's say this RWE thing blows up. And we've got 10 billion subscribers. Right? I'm telling you right now, it is still my intention to part-time truck at the very least. Because
Yep.
I love driving. I have since I was 16. Legally before that. Illegally before that. Okay, true story. I have a criminal driving record from, but is it criminal? I don't know. I didn't have a license. And I got multiple tickets, like 3 or 4 before I was even 15. Just saying. I like to
You
drive.
were a bad man.
But it was a bad kid.
Okay.
I was
You thought you were a man.
Yeah, I did. I was a challenging child. My mother will tell you. I had my good moments, but boy, was I a problem child sometimes. I used to go out of my way. I would think about the thing that I'm going to do, knowing I'm going to get in trouble for it, and say,
Mhm.
okay, if I do this, I'm going to get grounded for a week. If I add this, same week. If I add this, probably still the same week. If I add this, maybe 2 weeks. Let's go with 2 weeks. And I would stack the wrongdoings as a child. I kind of learned my mom's punishment schedule for like being grounded, right? By watching my sister, who was 6 years older than I was.
Nice.
I'm just saying, man, it was funny.
My mom had a point system on the refrigerator, and I made her so mad one time that she went to the refrigerator with a pencil and just started going ticking marks.
Right. Mike Henderson preaching right there. Building a fleet is easy. Finding good drivers is the hard part. I had 4 trucks, couldn't find good drivers. That's definitely a problem in the market.
Yes. Something that I would like to work on, actually.
Right. And we've seen ways of doing some things. And I think that there is hope out there. It does take a bit of work, but I think that there's something that can be done to kind of help stuff like that along.
Right.
Pairing people with the right companies is a big start.
Equipment.
Yeah. And look, Swift isn't for everybody, even starting out. The culture, the hugeness of it, right?
Mhm.
Maybe a Schneider's better, maybe a Werner's better. finding the right pairing for drivers is really the difficult part. And what happens a lot of time is you know, they're like, I just need a driving job. Well, what kind of driving job? What kind of culture do you want? What kind of,
Hey, hey, I know of 500 UPS drivers that'll be looking for a job next month.
right? Just saying.
Temporary for only 2 years, but you know.
Yeah.
You see that article, Charlie?
No.
So there's a UPS hub that they're going to remodel, and they're laying everybody off while they do that.
That sucks.
It's a 2-year project. But you know the way the articles and you know, guys, be careful with the clickbait. One of the things I like to do is read an article and then go back to comments and comment to people. Tell me you didn't read the article without telling me you didn't read the article. Because this particular one, the headlines all are like 500 UPS drivers laid off. That's it. That's the headline.
That's not weird, was it? My bad.
No.
Should I take it off? Oh, wait, my bad. Too much, Mike? Not what you were talking about, is it?
But you know, the headline will make you mad, right? But then you read what's really going on. They're just remodeling the facility.
Right.
And
they want to make it a gotcha.
And you know, big companies like UPS, they're going to offer those guys relocation or something in the interim. Like go over to that hub over there for a while.
Right.
Or, you know, your job's waiting for you when you come back. Go drive for Swift for 2 years.
Right.
Whatever you do, you know, to stay busy. So
there are options. I really need to get my top of the wall.
You know, DJ, you know, you're right, because right now, the way since COVID and everything like that, unemployment compensation, they've got that extended unemployment these days. It's not just 9 months and you're out like it used to be.
Right.
So that might be something, because, you know, dare I say something positive about a union? Now they're a union shop, so I don't know. They might have a thing.
Every intelligent person knows how crappy Prime Inc. is, yet they have thousands of suckers lining up to drive for them. That's from a Senior Cheese.
DC.
DC. Right. We'll do that. I like it. DC. That's your name.
You know what's weird about that, though, DC, is we know a guy that's got a fleet of 100 trucks over at Prime.
Right.
And we asked about why Prime. He's like, well, you know, I've got a good deal there. He doesn't have I guarantee you, he does not have the, okay.
Sorry, Chris threw me off. He said, keep going, man. Charlie. I got money for you. Whoop, whoop.
Careful.
Yeah, I know.
I guarantee you, I don't know what his contract is. I don't know his business other than he's got like 100 trucks over there. I guarantee you that he's not getting, he's getting a better rate than what they are for some one truck dude coming in there.
Yeah. And his drivers are very well compensated, and he has an amazing record. One on safety. He has a phenomenal safety record, and his drivers don't quit. People want to go drive for this dude. So I've been told.
Yeah.
You know, we had kind of cursory dealings with him, but everything we've been told about this dude is like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he's whatever, you know?
Yeah. Again, we
heard from someone that we haven't heard from in years this week. Sylvia.
Yeah.
She started at Swift with her husband, right? Is her husband?
Yep.
They paid off their truck. They took that truck to FedEx.
I don't know how
and started dropping cash for Western Star, brand new Western Stars, and recruiting drivers into those trucks. Now
they've got 8 expediter trucks at FedEx that are all white glove. And they're the super stretch sleepers with the straight trucks, the super stretch with maybe they got a shower or a bathroom. They all have kitchens for sure.
An actual living room to watch TV in.
Right. It's crazy. And she's got 8 tractors as well. So she's, you know, built a fleet of 16 all over at FedEx, all running custom critical in the white glove. Slaying it. Absolutely slaying it. That they go out and they can stroke a check for a truck.
Yep.
When they need to either replace or increase their fleet.
Now she's absolutely a unicorn.
Yes.
Most of us don't do that. Charlie and I included.
She busted her hump. Her and Mike busted their tails. And
Yep.
I want you to understand, I've been kind of associated with them in the owner op groups for years and years and years, long before I even started my group, right? I was in other owner op groups and things like that. And look, I've seen the stories. I've been there to see when, they had a really hard week, cranking out 7,000 miles a week on a regular basis. These two were absolutely busting their humps, paid their Swift truck off super early when they were allowed to do things like that, and took it to FedEx. They had already built a relationship with FedEx because they were on a FedEx dedicated through Swift. So they used that relationship that they built there and got themselves into the custom critical side on the actual FedEx fleet, and just took off like freaking gangbusters from there.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. I mean, she'll tell you now, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, she's another one too, though. I watched your exchange with her, they still drive a truck because
Yeah.
why not? Why
Right.
would they stop driving?
They're not driving full time from what I understand, but they get in and they drive.
Yeah, I mean,
When
I think it's
people need
important
time off, they'll cover.
for you guys that do want to become fleet owners, and I encourage you to seriously think about it, because this is one of those things, Charlie, that now that you see, we've met enough people that have pulled it off. One of the things that I've observed is that the fleet owners that go out and drive from time to time and keep their feet, their butts in the seats, they're better able to keep drivers because
Right.
there's a respect thing there.
Right.
And so, Charlie and I were talking about, with the fleet that I want to build. If nothing else, when a truck doesn't have a driver in it, I'll go out and drive that truck for a while till I can fill the seat.
Right.
Why not? I've got a cell phone, I've got my Verizon internet, I can run the business from the road. And if you're a fleet owner, like Rob, he tries to keep things a little lean so he doesn't have that many people in the office.
Right.
But he's got two really good people in the office that run the day to day, and he's the one negotiating with Panther and doing that stuff. And when he needs to get involved, he does. That's when you know that you're doing pretty well, is when you can hire some office staff
Right.
to handle some of the day to day. So,
Reefer Madness. I wouldn't pull reefer for $5 a mile. The disrespected food warehouses and the mafia lumpers, another group of people. I feel you.
I don't
I
disagree with that.
Yeah. I don't deal with typical grocery warehouses when the reefer work that I do is usually, like a Walmart dedicated where I'm helping out a surge, or where I'm surge at Target. I don't have those problems there. And when we have backhauls from other customers that are going back to Target, they absolutely do not put up with that. And they literally have 2 hours, and Target doesn't want to pay detention. So they will literally say, okay, bounce. And I get paid for the stop and the miles back. Oh, but I get paid for the miles back and the stop, even though I may leave without that load, because Target's like, no, we're not going to put up with this. We'll pick your product up next week, maybe next month. Maybe then you'll have your act together and we'll put your product on our shelves. So there you go. I'm just saying different strokes, right? I mean, I worked for FFE when I started in trucking back in 2004. And I hated grocery warehouses, and it was horrible. And I absolutely experienced exactly what you're talking about, and I feel the exact same way.
The only time I haven't had a problem with grocery warehouses was when I was doing that Swift Logistics stuff.
Right.
The other side of the house.
That was weird.
It was weird. Like you go in there, I've got a Swift truck, I've got a Swift trailer.
Right.
But because it wasn't a Swift load, it was a Swift Logistics load.
Right.
Boy, was it night and day.
Yeah.
They
weird. Would like stop unloading other people and start loading you.
Yep.
It was great.
Well, there's that what's right next door to, is that a Winco right next door to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went in there, Swift Logistics load, right? Got my dock, got in the dock, and there was another Swift driver there. And I asked her, I said, so how long you think we're going to be here? She's like, I don't know. I've been here for 5 hours.
Good.
I left before she did.
Yep.
I felt sorry for her. I saw her in the driver's lounge like a couple hours later. I'm like, well, that was weird. And she's like, yeah, what was that all about? And I explained it to her. And she's like, oh. Yeah.
Right. Reefer Madison, I'm detained more than 2 hours, maybe twice a month pulling van. Love it. Yeah, I don't. While I'm doing this Target thing, I never get detention because they won't let me stay more than 2 hours. They're like, bro, you better call us before you hit 2 hours because we don't want to pay you. So we want you out of there in under 2 hours with or without the load. Don't care. Their problem, not ours. We just won't have their product on our shelves.
Yep.
That's literally the way Target looks at it. They're like, oh, you don't want your products on our shelves. We get it. It's fine. It's your profits, not ours. It's crazy. It is a night and day. It is an absolute authoritarian stance on their part, but it works. It's very odd.
They pull that stuff off your trailer when you get there. Yeah.
You know, and good Lord. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I get paid $30 an hour after 2 hours, but rarely use it. Yeah, for real. What are we at? We're at Swift. We're at $7.50 per 15-minute period after 2 hours. So that's 15. Yeah, that's $30, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, math, not my buddy today.
We love numbers. We hate math.
Right. For real. Yeah, exactly, James. A lot of those are like night loads. It's funny because certain companies have a reputation. They're not going to put up with some of the nonsense that happens out there. Swift made their bones by saying, you know what, we'll do it. But it was a marketing thing. You know, they had accounts that they were actually losing money on, but overall they gained money because, you know, take Walmart. You know, we dropped 6 DCs 1 year because those DCs we literally Swift was paying to pull those loads, but they had 19 others, I think, at the time that were blowing it up. And then they said, you know what, we don't have to do this anymore. We've got enough of the market share. We don't have to do that. So they dropped the dogs, and then Walmart came back, and some of those we got back because the people that went in it, the low ball, couldn't make it. You know, like, dang it.
Well, I remember seeing, you know, back to the lumper thing. People are saying, you know, lumper's a scam, this, that, and the other thing. I don't think it's necessarily a scam, but there's actually some interesting things going on there to the point that I read an article, I think it was, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, that Werner, the company Werner, was trying to get legislation passed in Washington, was testifying in front of Congress and everything about it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Because the fees have gotten out of hand. And then they're still holding the trucks up. You know, I'm paying you $300. Why am I here for 5 hours?
Right.
Let's get this off of there.
Look, Chris and I were talking on the phone the other day. Normally he and I have the same experience at Amazon, typically, in and out, like, you know, an hour, which isn't bad. I mean, I look, I'm comfortable with a live load.
You're at Smithfield. Oh, that's where I was, Charlie.
Yeah. They
would not unload my straight truck.
Yeah.
I had to unload it myself. It was a whole to do. I ended up getting a day and a half of detention out of that.
That was crazy.
Those guys. Nice.
Pallets were sideways.
People, nice people, though. I couldn't be mad at the people. I called Charlie up. I'm like, I can't be mad at this poor girl.
Right? They're so nice. That was the one with the sideways pallets, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because on a straight truck, because you can't unhook from the box on a straight truck, they wouldn't put a forklift in it. And the pallets were sideways, so you could only get them off the forklift. So I called Panther. It takes them all day, all night to figure out what to do with it. They finally send me 60 miles north to a place that'll take the pallets out and put them in the right way. 60 miles back to get unloaded. And then I still had to unload it myself with a pallet jack because they won't go inside of a straight truck. Even though it's rated for a forklift, it's got the landing gear in the back and all that stuff. If you've seen that, that's to stabilize the truck so that that you can get a heavy piece of equipment in and out. It was a whole thing. It was a thing.
But yeah, so Chris was up there, and he got stuck there for 5.5 hours at an Amazon. He was like, what the heck, man, this sucks. And I'm like, bro, I feel your pain. But typically they've been pretty good lately. I mean, there was a time when it was a little rough sometimes, But what we did a lot of times in the past was dropping hooks.
Yep.
And then we started doing more live load, unload with Amazon stuff. And I've noticed that you typically in and out in an hour, maybe hour and a half.
Mhm.
They're kind of funny too when it's a live unload. They're like, "Hey, drop your trailer in this store and then go park over there with those bobtails, bro, and we'll call you." And then you get a phone call from somebody that says, "Hey, your trailer's done. Get out of here." And you're like, "Okay." And then you go to the gate and you talk to someone in India, and they open the gate from India or some other
Yeah,
place.
it's weird,
I don't
isn't
know.
it?
It's very odd, man.
They want you to download that app too, but I don't do enough business at Amazon to bother with it.
I'm not doing it. I can't make me until they make me. I'm not doing it. They've asked.
Oh,
I'm like, no, thank
and the app that you're supposed to do for Home Depot
you.
doesn't work, by the way, just so everybody knows.
Oh, great. That's helpful.
if
Oh,
you're
man.
at Swift, it's actually on your Zonar,
Right.
but it doesn't actually do what it's supposed to do.
Oh, how awesome is that? Oh my God. Reefer Man, you're not wrong, man. It's easier to manage time and miles with a known time at shipper and receiver. He says he rarely needs to talk to his dispatcher. His schedule runs like a fine clock.
That's nice.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, most of the time when I'm doing this Target stuff, I don't really talk to anybody. I call it a chit chat and annoy them. Honestly, that's what I do. Ida can tell you. I will call and just chat with her, and she's like, "I'm really busy right now, man." I'm like, "But Ida, I want to tell you about this pair of socks I got." You know what you could do? Start talking to her about kittens. She's got a house full of kittens that are going crazy in her house, and it's pretty fun. And then she'll start talking, and she'll send you pictures, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll look at those when I stop driving later. Bye." She's like, it's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, hey, Corksucker said, hit the like button, slackers. I like that statement. Just saying. James said,
And
go
I
ahead.
was going to do
No,
DCs.
go for it. Go.
The only good thing about detention is if you get 7 hours to get a nice split and pay out of the deal. That's assuming that your carrier allows that.
Right.
My carrier does not.
That sucks.
My
That's a pain.
carrier's rules are that if you're on property, you're on duty. So that's just
That's
I
a
am fighting
contractual
that.
thing.
I am fighting that, but we'll see how far that goes.
And
I
how
know
are you
some
fighting
people
that,
know some
Jeff?
people.
I think that's important.
Well, so I'm going through Rob and the trucker CFO because he's involved in all of this. They actually know higher ups at Panther. I have not gotten that far into my relationship with them yet.
What are you providing your contacts though?
Oh, the actual wording and the Q&A section of the FMCSA regulations.
Along with the data of what it's costing.
Yes.
And that's the interesting thing here is he's going to his fleet owner, right? And giving them the ammunition to approach the major carrier to try and get either an exception or a change to the contract that they have.
Yep.
You know, what's up? Sorry. Hey, good to see you. Miss you guys. But yeah, so it's a thing. But it's contractual. So Chump in the Hood said, if I'm in sleep berth, I'm in sleep berth.
I tried to make that argument with safety at Panther, and they said, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, it's contractual for them. It is written in the contract that is agreed upon.
So yeah,
until that contract is changed or modified or amended, all the words I can throw out there.
yeah. So how
obligated?
Tell people, Charlie. I was at Panther. It was when I first got the Western Star, and I'm going through the permit book. Remember, I was on the phone with you, and what did I find in there and start reading?
He found the ICOA for his carrier.
Yep.
Because it must be in every permit book.
That's right. And what was your comment to me? Here I am reading an ICOA that really isn't mine, and yet
right,
we can't get people to read their own.
We can't get people to read the one that they signed 56 pages on.
Mm-hmm.
Initialed every damn page, sometimes 5 times on a page, and they have no idea what they signed at the end of that thing. Never even read it. Look, we've had people in the past. Hey, bro, what's our mileage rate? What are you saying? If you read nothing and you went to work for somebody, wouldn't you know how much you're getting paid? You're in business. It's 1,000 times worse.
Yes.
How do you not know? You're going to trigger me.
This is a trigger.
Yeah, that was okay. So, Chris, a bad thing about that Amazon load is it actually lost him his stack home too. He had a stack home right after that, and he totally got hosed on. But he worked it out. He got his thing done, and whatever, man. I mean,
Yeah, I lost a 585-mile load in a straight truck because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And people that have run straight truck solo before, I was not happy.
Right. Yeah, because that was a huge run in that expediter side.
And I'll say it again. You guys want to get into expediting, I can help you do that now that I know about it. I can tell you that I'm doing pretty okay in the tractor. Straight truck, man, that was tough.
Brutal as a solo.
As a solo, boy. But if you got a teammate, like the fleet owner that I'm working in, especially if you're a same household team, like husband and wife, like Charlie and Rosie, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you've got. I think he's got a bounty. I don't know how much it is, but he's got a bonus for same household teams, because he's got teams. Like I met one of his new teams when he was putting in the straight truck that I actually turned in when I picked up the tractor. And the dude lives in Louisiana, and the lady lives in Houston, and they're teaming in that truck. And he would really rather. Oh, thanks, Matt.
You're awesome, brother. Appreciate you.
The thing is that it's so much easier if you at least live in the same city. I think you'd be happier. Right. You know what I mean? So, even your brother, your son, your sister, your mom, whatever, if you want to go out and do
it sounded like a joke setup. My bad.
Just if you have a teammate that you're already wanting to go do something with, I think I've got a good opportunity for you. I did find out today, because someone else asked me the question. You could get into straight trucks with no experience. You just have to have the CDL. You do have to have a Class A for his operation. But yeah,
this was great, right? So when Chris Hamilton was going to coming over to the Swift side, mind you, Chris has like 30 years of experience in trucking. Okay. And Chris came to us prior to making this contracting leap. And we worked a lot with Chris beforehand. I mean, in Michelle's eyes, we were filling his head, but with good information. Okay. She's not prepared sometimes for people to come to her and say, hey, I'd like to see the contract, and then read it for a week or two, or take it to a lawyer and have it looked at. So Chris Hamilton said, Michelle called me and asked if I was going to get the contract back to her. I said I wasn't done reading it yet. And she said, boop, I forgot you were talking to Jeff and Charlie, because we were big on that. And we are big on that. If you're getting a contract, you need to read every damn word of it. You need to understand every word of it. And if you don't understand it, hire someone, find somebody. I hired a lawyer for my first contract. Yep. Literally hired a lawyer, said, read this and explain it to me like I'm stupid, because I am.
It took me, so the contract's like 47 or 50 pages?
Yeah.
My first contract took me more than one day to read through, because I'm one of those guys, Charlie. I actually went to school and was going to be a literary person. So I wasn't going to hire a lawyer, but I was going to read every dang word. And you know how legalese is?
Oh, mind-boggling.
You have to just keep your eyes open.
Right.
And it was coming on dark, actually, in Phoenix. It was February, so it wasn't too late. And the lady comes into the little room that they give you to use. It's like, so are you done yet? I'm like, no, I'm about 2/3 done. Well, I need to go home. I said, well, I'll meet you here in the morning then, because I'm not signing it until I've read it all. And I had questions for her and stuff like that too. I actually got them to change part of the contract once, Charlie. For me. You remember that?
Yep.
It was with when the Cascadias first came out, and they were still trying to say that it was a $35,000 oil drain interval, and yet
Right.
in the driver's manual for the truck it says 50,000 miles for the application that
Mm-hmm.
we run at Swift. And I said, well, I'm not signing that. I'm not doing an oil change yearly if I don't have to. That costs money. Well, no, I don't know. This is what the driver's manual says. So it went over to maintenance and all sorts of stuff, but I got it changed to 50,000.
Exactly.
So your success rate on that isn't going to be awesome.
Right.
Negotiating with a Swift, but every once in a while, if you really put your foot down, you can. I mean, they're not going to budge on rate. You're not going to get $1.40 a mile at Swift.
Right.
So maybe Brett mentioned that they have some guy, and I remember before I left Swift, I was trying to find out exactly who it was that's got like 20 or 30 trucks over there. It would be interesting to talk to him and see if he got a better deal than a single operator. Somebody asked what happened at DSW, and I can tell you one of the things they did was they got out of the freight business, but they still own 2 or 3 academies, I guess.
I think it's like 6 or 7.
Is it 6?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's something. Yeah, they got a bunch of driving academies.
So they got into the truck school business instead. So they had a really good run
someone,
for it.
she was trying to give you a call, Jeff, so you can help him with that. I'm not sure when she posted that, so I apologize. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Sorry.
Yeah, you know how it is, Pond. Send me a text or something if I'm not answering. I can get to it.
It's weird sometimes. Dan, I want to come back to you. Jumping the hood. I get compliments about my clock management. As long as you're consistent with your logs, you'll be fine with inspections. Absolutely.
Yep.
I ain't gonna fight you on that one. Oh, straight truck stuff, Jeff. She wants to talk to you about it. I guess she's got a guy
straight truck and he has a CDL. Great. Yeah.
Okay, that's what happened to DSW, James said. Yeah. So I hate putting people's stuff out here. Michelle Cantrell is someone who I actually love IRL in real life. Love this woman like a sister. You guys know that. Her mom passed recently. No words, can't say anything good. There's nothing you can say. Keep her in your thoughts, please.
Yep.
I got to get off that because it'll make me an emotional train wreck, and nobody wants to see all that with my crazy face. Because I will. I can't help it. I feel for that woman, and I love you, Michelle. If you see this, Michelle, understand Rosie and I absolutely love you. And if there's ever anything, ride or die, yo. She knows what I'm talking about. Good God. Trucker Dan, we should talk about that. Dan, this is probably a better conversation, however. Where we need to
need to look at what your operation is doing.
Yeah, we because I know you've been struggling for quite some time, brother, and I think that there's more that we can do for you. But I can tell you, no matter what, it's going to be hard to get out. Okay. And most people, and I know I talked to you in the past about, God, it's been 2 years ago. You were kind of in a situation like this, and I'm not trying to bust your nuts here. But I remember vaguely, I vaguely remember saying, hey man, well, you might want to try some of these things and these things. And I didn't see the fall through on that. So here's what I'm going to say. If you need some coaching, you know how to get a hold of us. You've been around long enough. You know how to get a hold of us, man. Do that, please. And we will try and help you out. But I can tell you that it's not going to be easy. I don't even know what your situation is, but I can already tell you it's not going to be easy, because once you start dipping in that back hole, it's hard to get out, bro. And
yeah, but if you can do it, man,
right,
and stay positive after, I think you'll have a really great business going.
But we might tell you that you need to do some things that you may not necessarily want to do. But the reason we're telling you to do them is because we know some of these things work, and you can't go into it half-assed. Sorry for the phrasing, but you can't. You can't go into this half-assed at all, ever.
Right. Yeah.
So last week you only did 1,380 miles. Yeah, we we need to chat deeper, bro, is what I can say. You know, I don't want to get into your personal financials out here on the air in the open and things like that. But I can tell you that if you come to Jeff and I, we're going to have some hard discussions, and you may need to share some hard information that you may or may not want to do. But if you want real help, it's here. It's possible, but it's difficult. Be ready to do the work.
Yep.
Did I cover that pretty good?
Yep. And DJ Wimpy, we've answered this one many, many times. You like how I did that?
Yeah.
You can easily make 60 cents per mile as a company driver. Why take all that risk and expense for 70 cents more? Because it's more, and we enjoy the game. We enjoy the game. If you're not a businessman, I get it. I prefer to not be an employee.
Right.
I like being a contractor and solving the problems. And I mean, right now, I don't own a truck. Well, I own my Freightliner, but it's not in service right now. I'm working with these guys still as a contractor with the idea of buying the truck I'm in and getting back into that higher cents per mile range as a result. But I'm solving problems for these guys. I'm helping their other contractors do better while I'm doing all of this.
Right. Matt's a great person to talk about this. Let's talk about Matt for a second. Without getting deep into the weeds here, Matt had a very hard year last year. In several facets of life, including business and personal, right? Between Jeff and I and Craig and, some other people that Matt respects, listens to, and values their opinion, we helped Matt get out of his situation, and he ended up turning a profit by the end of the year when he was halfway through the year thinking he's going to lose his tail. And by the end of the year, he actually was turning a profit. That wasn't all us. I say it's all Matt. He listened. He reached out for help. He said, "Hey guys, here's my problem." And we gave some advice. And we helped guide him along with other people into solvency, right? To being an actual viable business. And now, because of what he learned during that period when it was hard, he's a much better operator now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And DJ McPote, you guys are all numbers and see we justify owning truck for $1.32 a mile. We don't make $1.32 a mile. We make more than that. But that's beside the point. Again, if you are not a business person, I understand. And
That's
you
fine.
will absolutely not understand why we do what we do, because we have the entrepreneurial mindset. We're always looking for opportunity. We're looking for problems to solve. It's part of the game. And
I like being a queen bee.
And if that ain't you, that ain't you.
Right.
Go be a company driver. There's nothing wrong with it. We've never said that.
We ain't knocking you, bro. I don't know why you're knocking those who want to get out and do their thing.
But this whole channel.
That is very man of a million excuses, though, isn't it? Just saying.
Yeah. This whole channel is devoted to people that want to be a successful owner operator, and so that's what we talk about. If you want to talk about being a successful company driver, great. Go do that.
Yeah. There's some places that I promise you need that advice, because I see an awful lot of company drivers that are struggling even, and that throws me off. And I'm like, I don't even understand it, but okay. Yep. I mean, it's a different model. Hold the wheel, stomp on the pedal, go, go, go.
Not a whole lot of decision making there.
It's not. And that's fine. I did it. I was amazing at it. I held that pedal on the floor and drove like I was on fire. That's how I made money.
I remember getting a phone call from Dana once when I was a company driver. Dude, Jeff, good job. You did 700 miles today. I don't do 700 miles in my truck.
Right.
Why? Because I don't drive that fast.
Exactly.
It hurts my bottom line. Totally different mindset.
Right. Chris Hamilton said, way to go, Matt. That is awesome. You did the work. My respect for you just went way up, up, up. And look, man, I mean, Matt's just one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? We all go through these stretches, man. You know, I mean, my last year and a half, 2 years were a freaking train wreck with all my medical crap going on. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll get to it. Keep going.
And you know, I can tell you now that I have buckled down this year. I have changed what I've been doing on my business management side. I have changed a lot of what I've been doing in my personal financial management side. And guess what? I got a desk that goes up and down. Pretty happy about that. You know what I mean?
Well, and Charlie, you know, more to GJ McPote's comment.
Right.
You would have lost your job as a company driver without filing for FMLA.
Absolutely. I could not work more than 3 or 4 days a week for quite some time.
We have more freedom to do stuff, man.
Right. And you know, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. Look, there are good times and there are bad times. And what makes you a success? Being able to get through the hard times and come out the other end whole. Yep. And learning from all of those things that were dragging you down.
And there's a lot of satisfaction in that, man.
There really is.
I mean, when I had that, you didn't know me when I had the 2012, but I spent almost a year in the rears because of that truck.
Right.
I came out the other side and look at me now.
Right.
Look at me now, Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
don't stand up, bro. We don't need that again.
There's a lot of satisfaction in turning things around like that. If let's say you're working for Swift, and Charlie and I were talking about this the other day. Let's say Swift went under, and don't say it won't. People said the same thing about Enron. You know, big companies go under all the time. You have no way of influencing that at all.
Right.
In my little contractor model, I can, well, worst case scenario, Charlie, right?
Right.
Let's say my fleet owner that I'm working with ends up saying, screw this, I'm done. Okay, well, I get the 16 fixed. I put it on the road.
Right.
I've got options. I don't have to just go back and with my tail between my legs and say, Swift, will you take me back?
Right.
I mean, I might do that because I liked working at Swift, but you know,
right.
But I have options that as an employee you just don't have.
Let's go into TK here.
Yep.
What's up, TK? By the way, good to see you, brother. TK said, I get $1.32 a mile, but I learned that having that doesn't mean you make profit. People have to learn how the carrier you're working with deals with how you run your truck. Yep. Said he didn't struggle as a company driver. He made money just driving. As a leader guy, I could not run my truck that way.
Right. But yeah, as an owner operator, so we see this all the time, Charlie. And TK, I'm going to call you out because when you first started as an owner operator, you did kind of just run your truck the way you did your company truck. But you learned pretty quick that you couldn't do that. You started making changes. You started doing things a different way.
Lease driving. Gotcha. Sorry.
Right. And that's the key. You know, part of why we built the framework or the roadmap, whatever we're calling it a roadmap, right, Charlie? Let's just get our roadmap to success.
Right.
Part of that, a big part of that is getting this entrepreneurial mindset so embedded in your mind that you think of yourself not even as a lease contractor or whatever. You are a business person, period. You just happen to pick trucking as your business.
Oh,
that's like the first thing that we want to get in your mind when you go through our program is that entrepreneurial mindset. You know, you want to think of yourself a certain way. Otherwise, I mean, really, Charlie, what are you doing?
Right. Yep. Cork soaker.
So, you know, people like, I want to call him McPote.
DJ.
DJ. We get what you're saying. We understand it. But man, it's just not the life I want to live.
Right.
You know, Charlie likes to skydive. I would never skydive, and he doesn't. Well, he does make fun of me about that. That's
It's
a bad
true.
example.
Yeah.
But no, you know, Charlie and Rosie skydive. You will probably never get Donna and I to jump out of a plane. It's not our thing, but it is Charlie's thing.
Love it. Haven't done it in a long time because of my medical stuff, but whatever. Broken and old. Cork Soaker said, I could never ever drive a POS truck with crappy tires, zero suspension, breaking down every 2 weeks. I have what a lot of people call the POS truck, yet
Me
it's
too.
mechanically sound.
Yep.
It's ugly as sin. It
Mine's
did
not.
have terrible suspension, which was part of my problem. You know, those older trucks, not quite smooth riders. But I had amazing tires because I ran nothing but Michelin's on that one. So I'm just saying. But there's, I mean, I can go get my 07 right now and run it. It's ready to run. It needs 4 batteries, but I can go run it. It'll beat me up. I can't even imagine going backwards in that ride suspension. But if I had to, it's there. I've got a backup just in case. I'm just saying. You know, so I mean, it's a thing. Craig said something. Relationships are critical in the hard times. Definitely give props to his OOC and his terminal leader for backing him up in his situation right now. Yeah, Craig's got some horrible truck issues going on right now. Shop issues that are not amusing to us.
I'm going to point something out, Charlie.
Go for it.
Cork Soaker's comment about basically wanting to drive a newer truck. Craig's truck is new.
Right.
There's no guarantees. Anytime, you know, one of the things I agonized about, Charlie, when I came time for the 16 to either buy it or let it go,
right,
is that possibility that that truck ran so well. What about the next one?
Right.
Even brand new out of the factory. Who knows? Crap. My 2012 first year with SCR. The first problem with it, they didn't hook up the frickin' hoses to the
DEF system.
I drove that truck for 2 weeks, wondering why I could never put more DEF in it. It should have been. I should have had to fill it at least once, right?
Yeah,
got it to the Salt Lake shop. Said, "Hey, this is weird. I mean, I've had the truck for 2 weeks and it's just not taking any DEF." They got up under it, and all the lines for the DEF system were still zip tied to the frame.
Right. Going back to Matt's point here, Matt Nissen said this year has had its challenges, especially with repairs recently, but having learned from last year and focusing on numbers and performance, it hasn't hurt as bad this time around. And that's exactly what we're talking about. You learn how to deal with those hard times so when they happen again, you know what? Nowhere near as painful. It's just not. I don't care what you do. As long as you're learning from those things, you've got to learn from those things that cause you pain. And pain can be physical pain. Pain can be mental pain. Pain can be financial pain. It hurts your pocket. So, you know, and let's be honest. For me, it's things that cause me physical pain, like very quick, sudden physical pain and pocket pain. Those are the things that I learned from the most. And I have learned a great deal from both of those things in my life. Oh, God. Jump off
a bunch of people wanting to jump out of airplanes with you.
You know, I dig it. Let's go. It'll be fun. No. See, okay, Matt said, what about bungee jumping? No. Here's the thing. I am terrified of heights. I can't walk. I climb on my 1-story roof. I get dizzy. It is not okay. I can't get near the edge and look over. Whatever. Spiders and heights, they're my kryptonite. But here's the thing. Altitude with a parachute on my back or heights with a parachute on my back, completely calm and peaceful. Makes no sense at all. I couldn't even open a parachute off of a 2-story roof. It would never open in time. But I could walk along the edge and tap dance and have a good old time. Wouldn't bother me. It's that weird thing with the parachute. I don't understand it. Trust me.
Yeah, if we get too much into your thing, Craig, I'm going to say something that might lose Charlie his contract.
Let's not do that. I'd like to keep it going for a little while. Just saying. Yeah. Yeah, he's got all kinds of suspension issues with his rear axle and all this other stuff. Oh, look, here we go.
No, they don't.
Did you switch accounts? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Anyhow, no bungee jump with a spider on my shoulder, bro. You're gonna make me poop my pants, is what it's gonna happen. Look, I have put holes in my wall. Luckily, it was a BB gun that was closest to me one night. There are holes in my former bedroom that I gave to my daughter and people. Literally from me shooting at a spider on a wall because it was not okay to be in my house. I will burn down a house before I let a giant monster. Almost said something else right there. I caught that. Whoo, you don't understand. Stop it. Just stop.
You guys are going to make Charlie swear. Donna's right here. She'll give me the evil eye.
I'm going to get beat. Oh my God. No. Yes. Okay, Matt, that's funny. Greg suffers from wobbly rear end. I don't even know how to come back from that one. Oh, that's probably a good one to end on. I'm just saying. Good Lord. Woo. Got me going right there. Talking about spiders and all that. 5-minute warning. We're less than that. Oh, no, we're not. You're right. 5 minutes about right, because I forget I start 2 minutes, 2 hours early. That's great. People would be like, what the hell? You start 2 hours early? We should do that one day, just to mess with people. Anyhow, if you guys got any pressing, Rosie does protect me, Chris. She is absolutely the spider slayer. There's a show. There's one of our live shows where a spider came on my desk. I up and baby, I start calling for her. I was calling for Rosie to come save me, and she came and she protected me from that spider live on the air. True story. Just happened.
Maybe we should call her Batman.
Hey, see, you just
the
want to
Spider Avenger.
All of my little weird things. I'm
because bats eats insects, right, and spiders and stuff.
Okay, I dig it. You're just trying to mess with me.
Yes.
I've got a weird tab on my shirt.
That's what happens when you got a minute left on the show. You start getting messed with.
Right? Look, you guys need to quit.
Yeah, we did do the show a day earlier once, and that messed everybody up, including us.
Right? That was hilarious. Like nobody knew how to act for the rest of the week, too. That was terrible because I didn't know what to do either. And then I ended up being off the next day. That was the worst part about it.
By the way, make sure, guys, you Swift guys, make sure you're setting your PTA properly.
Right?
Just saying.
Stop, bro. Why? I accidentally set my PTA for 11 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. And I came home on Saturday afternoon because I didn't get a load that night because whatever. I still think that the person that didn't plan me kind of jerk face for not planning me because every weekend they've been supposed to plan me, but whatever. It was my bad. I'll accept my responsibility, but whatever. A little bit of jerk face there. Just saying.
So this is the last one. Matt, no. Just no. No. Mm-mm.
What? Why are you even bringing that up?
Because I want everybody to remember to be safe out there. Keep the rubber side down.
You guys.
Check us out. Check out the new...
Exactly.
One of those famous Jeff stumbles.
rwedrive.com for anyone interested. We'd love to have you, and we think that you'll actually find some serious value there. Haters gonna hate. Dude, I love doing the show standing up. I need to put some art higher on my wall so it's not quite so weird behind me. Shut your mouth. You know what? We are done with you. You guys, Coast we're going to see you next week.
I've got friends in the Coast Guard, too.
Stop, bro. What? You're making me pick on people that really don't deserve it.
Inter-service rivalry is a time-honored tradition.
Look, anyone who serves, I am proud of you, and I am thankful for you. anyone
Absolutely.
who has served, I thank you. Serving today, serving tomorrow, I thank you. But I'm going to pick on you, Coast Guard, Space Force, and Air Force guys. Can't help it. Love the Air Force guys, because at least they put me in an airplane that I get to jump out of back in the day. Just saying, that was exactly right there. My Marine friends are going to fight us over that, but screw it. We'll throw knuckles, Chris, side by side, brother. I got you. I got you. I know you got me. I don't even have to say I hope. I know you got me. His beard is longer than mine, Charlie. Well, that's fine. Look, it's not too bad though. I'm just saying, haven't cut it in a while. Just trimmed up. I had to shave today. I was looking like a train wreck. Anyhow, you guys, we're gonna be here. Stop with the spiders. Oh my god. And,
We need to leave.
Wimpy McPote. Oh, you are such a wonderful person. I appreciate your views. That's where I'm going to leave it. You guys, we'll be here next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, like we are every week. Thank you guys for being here. It does mean a great deal to us, and we truly do appreciate you guys. We'll stay safe. Nobody's looking after us but us. You guys, we'll see you next Tuesday.